the way that nightlife is set up in some cities plays a factor into what music is being played and how music is being played. Country music started in like the 30s and the 40s. So to get to the point where somebody white is on stage being like, yo, somebody white founded it, took 100 years. But I'm saying you're starting to see the erosion of it, is what I'm saying. Bro, is a naked man on this. I'm not gonna listen. I didn't need any Big Sean.
Bro.
I didn't need any Big Sean. This is episode 91 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. I'm your host, AJ Hughes. I'm here with my co-host, Antonio Hughes. And I came across a video to answer one of the questions that you've had on this here podcast. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to hear. Let me see what we're talking about here.
Daily. Read all those books, watch all those shows, and listen to all those songs.
I do. Listen,
No, you don't.
I am so glad that I had this opportunity.
Please.
People, they believe the books and the movies, but the playlists, they somehow think, and this is mostly coming from young people like you.
Yeah.
Somehow y'all think you invented rock and roll, you invented hip hop, and so the fact that my lists are pretty incredible.
You have Life is Good by Sir featuring Scribs Riley on your iPad right now?
Don't play with me.
Okay. Huh? All right, let's cap it. Let's raise the rim a little bit. Give me the plot line for Afterlives by Abdul Razak Gurna.
Dude, how much time do we have here?
Mr. President, when you do...
Thoughts?
Bro, this is funny because to me, I still feel like he probably doesn't. No, here's the thing. He has daughters. He has young people around him. So I could see him maybe listening to some of these songs. But I'm just going to pull up one of these lists again. Bro, some of these...
I was thinking about starting the podcast with, what's that song with Meg and Glorilla? Because that song was on the playlist. Go Meg, go. That's on the playlist. That's on the playlist. But shout out to our commander-in-chief, you know what I'm saying? Listening to Rema and Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion, allegedly. How you doing, bro? How's it going? You're back.
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Back home. Start my new thing tomorrow, so that's going to be good to see how that goes. I did some church today, but really chilling, bro. Chilling.
Damn, shout out Pastor Mike, man. We're gonna keep it brief. It's not a gospel pod, but shout out Pastor Mike. But yeah, let's get right into the show. You know what I'm saying? There was interesting conversation on TikTok and Instagram this week, and I want to get your reaction on. Tell me what this would do for you in the club if you were there, right? If you liked this intro or transition, I'm about to play for you real quick. Now, just tell me, if you were in the club when this was going on, you know what I'm saying? How did that sound to you? How did that sound to you?
That sounded crazy to me. I feel like, but it always sounds better live. So.
The interesting thing is, like, most of South Africans or the piano warriors, like the OG piano warriors, they said that was trash.
They said it was trash?
Let me share this video. I thought this girl, I forget her name, but I always come across her videos on TikTok. She's South African, but I thought she's just funny. I just wanted you to hear the interaction she had.
I felt like it was good, but let's see.
You know why non-South African Amapiano MCs sound like a malfunctioning McDonald's toy phone that was left out in the rain since 2003, and then someone put it in rice, but not for the full day, half of the day, and then this McDonald's toy phone that was already malfunctioning tried to learn Sipitori and isiZulu from ChatGPT. They sound like that because they don't know how to catch a wave. I think people who live in economies where they're dictated by time don't know how to vibe with Amapiano properly, and they try to climb on it because they think it's too slow. So they're trying to invigorate the audience. And already, I've already touched on the dancers that look like they have rabies, kind of. But I think with the MCs, their like role is to obviously bring the energy. But now if your energy is to like hasten the time of the song and to make it seem like the song is quicker and not to marinate with the song, you're competing with the song, and that song will chew you up and spit you out.
And then she gets in her whole little bag. But I thought this was interesting for a couple of reasons, right? A lot of people were saying that the BPM is higher, like in video. Like when you go to the UK and they play Amapiano, they usually increase the BPM about 5 to 10, which makes it faster. And there was also somebody that had said that they think that the way that nightlife is set up in some cities plays a factor into what music is being played and how music is being played, which I think is so valid. Like I was just watching some Amapiano mixes on YouTube a little bit earlier. They be doing day parties, right, from like 11 to 9, 10 o'clock, or they don't, like over there in Africa, it's not uncommon to get out of the club when the sun is rising. You know what I mean? Clubs don't close like that. And another creator had mentioned that in the UK, clubs close at 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? Which is similar to how they close over here. And with that being the case, you have a shorter amount of time to be out, vibe, and dance. So you want to get right to the, you know what I'm saying? You want to get right into the dancing to the height of the songs and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting because it just, I guess when you take it broader than like this song and what was happening with the song, how the city affects how people enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even a thought that I had put together before like seeing stuff like this.
Yeah, I think you definitely see that in the differences in like nightlife in Chicago versus Florida versus even a place like Cali, even we're just talking about the American side of stuff, if I could talk about that. But even with like how in hip hop at least there's a difference in coast, like with how the coast rap and the BPM that the coast rap at. I feel like you definitely see Cali rapping at a slower pace while you might see Chicago rapping at a faster pace. You definitely see it's just regional differences and people put their own spin on everything. So it's definitely cool to see that. But you definitely see different types of nightlife depending on where you go. Like even what people wear, like when they go out. Like I remember being up in Chicago versus being in Florida, the difference in what people would wear going to the club, going out and stuff like that. So it's definitely
this makes me more excited to go to South Africa because like I haven't been in a proper I feel like if you want to listen to it how they say you're supposed to listen to it, it's got to be there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like any other markets where it's even popular, like you get a lot of Amapiano DJs in London, obviously, and a lot of those European countries, and occasionally we'll get them over here. Like I know Kabza De Small is performing in New York this summer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to go listen to it there. And I thought that was lit too. I ain't gonna lie. The DJ that was like actually on the decks is this dude named Quam's Original. I saw him twice when I was in London. He's probably one of my favorite DJs I saw over there. And I thought it was lit. I ain't gonna lie. I heard that. I was like, oh, that's great. I heard it the week before everybody started commenting on it. But I just found the conversation to be interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, bro. It definitely is like the cultural differences and how people start making their music depending on where they're at. Even I remember you telling me about Blast. Like you said, hearing Blast in Cali was different than hearing it like in Illinois. Like even so, it's like when you hear it in them places, you see how those people were making those types of music.
I just mean you understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear something in the context it's supposed to be heard, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear dance hall with either around a bunch of Caribbeans, one, or in a Caribbean place, it's gonna hit different than if you're in like Nebraska.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in South Africa at some point. I wanted to come on here and talk about pirate radio. Do you know what pirate radio is before I start giving you the details?
I've heard about like pirated movies and stuff. Yes, mom.
Okay.
So-
Hey, Ma. We'll cut it. We'll start again. I'm dead. Hey, Ma. We don't have to cut it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to cut it. That's my mom. So you've heard of pirated movies. You've heard of pirated. So you have an understanding of the premise.
Yeah, of like it's illegal. You're not supposed to have those stations or whatever. That's what I'm.
So I watched a bunch of documentaries and I read a bunch of articles and I listened to a bunch of music on pirate radio. And I had heard the concept before, but didn't really know where it got super popular at. But over in the UK in the 90s, when jungle music, garage music was getting super popular, they weren't popular on the radio. And so because artists wanted to get their music heard and get their music played in other places, in between, you know how in between the radio stations, there's just like staticky stations that aren't being used?
Yeah.
People would set up like radio sets and broadcast over those channels their own radio. And then there would just be random DJs playing like mixes, freestyles, instrumentals, random stuff on there that wasn't getting played on like BBC radio, all the other popular stations over there. And I thought it was interesting because it just tapped into the alternative types of music that people want to hear, but the current distribution models or the current companies that are in play that are distributing to people aren't looking to play in the same way. And it made me think about what we're doing here. Like we're trying to bring voices to alternative types of music that might not be played on other social media channels, other radio stations and stuff like that. But it was super interesting diving into pirate radio and garage, like the pattern that you see in Black cultures everywhere of how we come up with something new and then it gets popular and then the big companies put money behind it and essentially phase us out. That is just something that gets further reinforced as I learn about new types of music. You know what I mean? And I think perfect transition into the country music thing. I think we see it now. Like we see different versions of it. And when we came in here and talked about how we think like rap and hip hop might be like that might be a white genre at one point. Like it sounds crazy to say, but somebody just said it for country. Somebody just did it. If you don't know what we're talking about, Megan Maroney credits the Carter family as essentially starting country music in this clip. It was at the AMAs, if I'm correct.
Country music has been an important part of AMA history. The very first year of this show, the award for favorite male country artist went to the great Charlie Pride.
That same year, favorite female artist went to Lynn Anderson, and this award went to the Carter family, who basically invented country music.
I'm pretty sure you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
When you saw it, did you have any thoughts about it? Or do you have any thoughts about it now? Is it anything that you were like,
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when she said that, I thought she was joking and talking about like Beyonce and that type of thing. But then when I got to do a little more research, I guess she was just more so pointing to like the Black roots that we obviously have seen in country and stuff like that, and the fact that it gets overlooked a lot. And I think something else that like I saw people pointing out was the fact that Shabuzi looked confused, and that's why I thought he was talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z and all, or she was talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z and all that. But yeah, the whole like turning into a white genre, we've seen that in all of them almost. Like we saw that in hip hop, not in hip hop yet, but rock and in blues and in different things, and jazz even. We see how they take it, try to make it their own, but really just strip it from what it really was.
I think the more I think about how it happens, it's like we do something innovative and popular, and then they start to see that it has attention with us and with broader groups of people a lot of times. And then they put money behind it and own it. And then they start putting white people in the position to do the same thing that we were doing. And then because, and this is the thing, this is like the catch-22, right? We're a minority in a lot of the Western countries. You know what I'm saying? Black people are a minority in America, right? So when white people start doing something that's popular, they're going to have 4 to 5 times the audience that we would have, right? So whatever metrics that or numbers that they're using, like of course Eminem is going to do bigger than whoever our favorite rapper is, right? He just has a larger audience. And so as time goes on and more of them start doing it and hitting numbers like that, when you show it in proportion to how it started, so like how we did it, or how it's like how our favorite artists like became popular, the numbers are night and day, right? Like Jay-Z and Eminem numbers are like, I guess it's not You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
You can't Eminem. You can't.
And because my thing with that is, I feel like rap is gonna take a lot longer because we did see the white guy come up and become that guy. We've seen a bunch of them, but there hasn't been ones who have, as far as culturally goes, have been like that effective. Like Beastie Boys, you could say MGK, you could say Mac Miller, you could say Russ, there's been a bunch of these people who have came up, but I don't feel like that's completely phased out black people overall. And I feel like with rap specifically, maybe that's just me. I think it's gonna take longer, but granted, we're at this point where Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Playboy Cardi, all these people are the ones who are like the rock stars and the people who are doing stuff right now. Even that part of it, that they're trying to be more so on the rock side. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Bro, country music started in like the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to get to the point where somebody white is on stage being like, yo, somebody white founded it, took 100 years, give or take 20 years, whatever. But I'm saying, like, you're starting to see the erosion of it, is what I'm saying. And I think this just showed you, like, this is where it can get to. That when I saw I'm like, this is where it could get to. It doesn't mean it necessarily is. I think you're right. I think we had this one, I think, is like a little bit harder to compete with, but this is where it can get to. That's really all I had to say about it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Anyway, a lot of new music dropped, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get into the two main ones I really want to get into are Leon Thomas's Deluxe and then Goldlink. Which one do you want to start with?
We can start with Leon Thomas since you mentioned that first.
Okay. Tell me your thoughts on it, and then tell me your thoughts on Big Sean specifically.
How did I know he was gonna say that? I liked a lot of songs I heard on here. He did have a lot of just the remixes of stuff, but there was a few new songs like Not Fair, Prize, even Heal was pretty good too. But Big Sean specifically, I wasn't hating. I didn't like the verse on Vibes Don't Lie that much, but I liked Party Favors. I thought Party Favors was a good song, but Vibes Don't Lie, I thought he could have left that alone. Like, even I would have thought, I'm not gonna lie, the way Freddie Gibbs had fit on he was on Mutt, right? Yeah. I thought Freddie Gibbs could have fit on Vibes Don't Lie pretty good too, just based on how the beat was. Like
Alchemist type beat. Alchemist type beat.
Yeah. But overall though, I did like a lot of the stuff I heard from this. The song with Hadley was pretty good. The song with Kalani is always I love Kalani, so Kalani, that was good. But yeah, I thought it was a good album, bro. Good to look.
I'm still standing on the hill that if you didn't make it during the time of the recording of the original, you shouldn't deluxe it. So I think personally, this is corny. And this is why I say that. Listen, in 10 years, nobody's gonna be like, hey, yo, you remember that Leon Thomas Deluxe joint? Nobody. But if he had just taken these 9 songs, all right, take the Mutt Chris. You could put the Mutt Chris Brown remix on there because it's Chris Brown, right? So take these 9 songs and just make it an EP. You'd remember a 9-song EP. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the 8-song Blast EP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in 9, 10, 11 years, nobody's gonna be like, hey, yo, that Deluxe joint? Nobody. So let me start there. But the music though is good. You know what I'm saying? I just had to start with some hate. But I do love the project. Heal, Grace. The amount of instrumentation he has in his albums, like, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a lot of artists are using real instruments, live instruments anymore, because ChatGPT can make your beats. Not Fair is my favorite song on here. Catch a Stray is also good. Dirt on My Shoes with Kehlani is okay. I didn't need any Big Sean.
Bro,
I didn't need any Big Sean. It was just like, bruh, I think I'm biased, especially because we just talked about Big Sean last week. We just talked about Big Sean last week, opening for us. First you open it for us, I bet. You know what I'm saying? So not a decline, but a plateau. And then you get on potentially the hottest R&B album of the last 2 years, and you're like, I give you a 6 out of 10. 2 6 out of 10s, not even 1. Here's my thing: to get on Bro's Deluxe not once but twice and be very ordinary.
Bro,
what studio did he lock Leon Thomas in?
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? How did you get 2 verses on the song and they both just
Okay, here's the thing. First of all, it's niggas like you that got Big Sean opening up for us. That's why he's opening up for us right now, because niggas like you on podcasts with microphones are hating on Big Sean. And two, like I said, the one on Vibes Don't Lie, I just feel like he did not fit there. But I feel like Party was a good song.
He didn't need
Like,
to be on
he
it.
didn't need to be on there, like, at all. That one just did. I wasn't fucking with that. But Party Favors, I like that song. I'm gonna go back to that. They had the little video on Instagram and they, singing a song together. I was like, okay, it's gonna be lit, yeah, bro.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. Yo, shout out Leon Thomas though.
Yeah, he went platinum over the weekend too, so shout out for that.
Next album I want to talk about. I almost didn't listen to this album because of the album cover. Put it here, please. But Goldlink put a project out called Enoch. And personally, his last project, I didn't like it. His last project was called, give me 2 seconds and I can tell you what it was called. His last project was called Haram. I didn't like it. It was very rock inspired. It wasn't my vibe. But this project, this is the vibe I'm trying to be in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dance records. Like, it's very clear. It's very clear he's trying to get people to move with this project. Did you listen to the whole thing? Did you have standout tracks? What'd you think?
I listened to most of it. I really liked Glock Heavy and Aventador, but I think this sounded good too. And I thought the cover was just interesting. I feel like that's something I love about certain artists is their covers will be interesting. They'll have you like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? Or even Tyler is another good example of a person who does really good with that. I really like the Flower Boy cover. I like the cover for the most recent album. I like the whole concept of that. So I feel like he always has some type of cool thing going on with his covers, so that was cool to see too. But I
He
like this album,
does.
man. You're definitely right. I heard a lot of Nia Archive stuff on here. I heard a lot of K Tronada type stuff. Yeah, like it was definitely
Yeah, Aventador is K Tronada. It's produced by K Tronada.
Mm.
I think it's crazy how you can hear a song come on in the first 3 seconds, be like, this sound, because I sent it to Ryan too, Ryan Hughes,
Mhm.
and he was like, this sounds like a K Tronada beat. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. You're right. But that's my favorite song on the project too. I like Red String a lot. Red String also sounds like it could be produced by K Tronada, but it wasn't. It was produced by somebody named, y'all get normal names, 18. So 18.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like
It's the number 8 and then EEN. So what the fuck? I like Glock Heavy too. African. That's a hard rap record. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no, he was rapping his ass off. I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple songs where
Yeah.
he was like rapping his ass off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good project overall. I will say just, you're right. It is an interesting album cover, but maybe the bias in my head was like, bro, there's a naked man on this. I'm not gonna listen. So like it took a day for me to click on it.
But look closer though. He has on like shorts. He's spray painted. You can even see that.
Okay, but that's for the fact that he can't actually be naked on the cover. He's supposed to show himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, obviously, but
I know. I'm just saying what happened when I first saw it. I'm not saying like anything about it further. I'm just saying what my initial thought was and why I didn't click on it. I like the project.
Okay.
What else we got on here? Meek Mill, G Herbo, Survivor's Guilt. Who had a better verse? Who had a better verse? They put out a single. Who had a better verse?
I always want to lean towards Meek Mill, but I don't. You
Yeah.
feel me? You feel
He
me?
did. Yeah, he did. Meek Mill is in the crib hurting.
Yeah,
Right now.
nah.
He put that song out with Friday. He's in the crib hurting right now. Like he's rapping his ass off.
Expensive thing, hey, like the rent is due.
Like the rent is literally due. There's no album. There's no label. There's no label. The rent is literally due. He is trying to make it work. He is trying to make it work. Odile put out a single. Odile is becoming one of my favorite R&B artists. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you've heard a ton of his music, but that song So that blew up on TikTok.
Yeah,
that's him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's like an African immigrant, but he signed to LVRN, which is where Summer Walker is signed. And he keeps doing these Amapiano remixes of his songs. I really like it. You know what I'm saying? That So record, I like the Amapiano version of that. DJ by Parissa. And then he has another song on there called, let's see. Oh, Blame You. Yeah, Blame You is a big song, but he also has a Amapiano inspired track to that. And the only reason I mention that is because London Summers gives Amapiano vibe. It gives, this is what it would sound like. I was only there for the spring, but this is what it was starting to sound like when I left. This song is fire. I really like this song.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. Got to.
And if you like that one, I'll go check out Billions by Lojay, SARS, and Major League DJs. Billions came out already, and the Major League DJs just made an Amapiano version to it. I thought it was worth mentioning. Kelvin Momo put out an album, Half a Day of Music for Your Head Tops. Fato. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you exactly how long it is right now. But anytime he releases a project, I'm lit. I work out to Amapiano. I'll clean up to it and all that stuff. So 3 hours and 42 minutes, 29 songs. Check in. And then finally the Clipse, Ace Trumpets. What did you think of this record?
I like this record a lot. I think to again say the non-bigger rapper Smoke the other one. I thought Malice was in there smoking Pusha T, but that was just me. I don't know. Yeah. I thought Malice was rapping his ass off too, but I'm excited to hear the project.
I thought it was just okay. Like I didn't really like the beat too much. You know, yeah. I'm excited for the project because there was that one beat he had, whatever that stuff he was playing during the Louis Vuitton show or whatever. That sounds crazy.
Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chains and whips.
And there might be a Jay-Z verse on there, but I do agree with you. They were rapping. They were rapping. I put my backpack on for about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Push off your bag.
Shout out Pusha T. Upcoming albums that I feel like I'm going to be looking forward to. AJ Tracy drops this Friday. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped for this. The project, all the singles that he's dropped so far, outside of, I think, 1, maybe 2, I really like. So I'm excited for the project. In the F1 movie, their soundtrack releases this summer. I want to say it releases in June. But right now, let me tell you the names that are supposed to be on this project. So Lose My Mind was by Don Toliver and Doja Cat. We got Dom Dalla and Nathan Nicholson. Don't know who that is. Ed Sheeran, Tate McRae, Rose, Burna Boy, Roddy Ricch, Ray, Mike Towers, Sexy Red, Mr. Easy, Darko. It's some interesting names on here. So I'm looking forward to going to see it. It's by Atlantic. They did I see the Fast and Furious playbook. This is the Fast and Furious playbook. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested to see some of these songs coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited for that movie too, low key, to get on my movie buff shit. I think that's gonna be one of them. A lot of good cinema coming out, guys. You guys gotta make it back to AMC, I think.
Franklin Saint driving cars, boy.
You feel me? He got
himself together. He got back up. I'm dead. What songs you got for the people this week?
Okay. Another album that we didn't talk about was Ryan Castro dropped an album called Sende, and there was a song on there called Rebecca. If you like Sean Paul, you would like this song. This is a very good song. I forgot to look this up, but like I was sitting here hearing a lot of these songs on this album. A lot of them had a lot of Caribbean influence, so I want to go do some more research on Ryan Castro. I already listened to him a little bit, but don't really know much about him. And then as far as another song, I had Kai Cash with My Train of Thought. Kai Cash came out of the beef between the East West Coast, and I went and listened to his last album and stuff, and he had a lot of good songs on there, a couple good ones that I definitely I'm sorry, but My Train of Thought, Kai Cash, that's my other one.
Okay, I got 2 songs real quick. We'll keep it quick. I don't know how long this song will be up on Spotify because the copyrights that I feel like he's breaking on the song, he got about 4 days. But Indecisive dash Is It a Crime? The Is It a Crime Rema beat.
Yeah.
He turned that into it's like a trending TikTok song right now, but he turned it into a drill song. And so the beat, it's that beat with the drill on it. So I'm like, I don't know the shot that Aunt Rema gave him you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But the song is fire. Indecisive by Kid Wild. And then Cops and Robbers by Sammy Vidri and Skepta.
I was actually gonna send you that. That's funny.
That song is hard. That's he's I see what Skepta's doing. Now that I've watched the documentaries and read all the articles, I see what Skepta's doing now, like the house stuff. He's bringing garage and grime. If you bring UK garage back, you could bring grime back.
Yeah.
If you bring, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Sammy Rashid is hard. Like I was gonna see him at Lala if I went this year, but
yeah. Oh yeah, wait, hey, go ahead, put the ad in here. Try and sell your ticket.
If anybody needs a Thursday Lala ticket, hit the R&R page. I guess I'm not giving out my information on live on the internet on YouTube, but if you need a Lala ticket, hit the line. I guess
if I can find the clip from 6 or 7 weeks ago where I said you about to be on here talking about, hey yo, I got a ticket for sale, hit me up. Yo, I be calling it. Nah, but that's it, man. That's it. That's all we got for y'all this week. I feel like this one flowed pretty. How do you like the structure of this episode? You know what I'm saying?
I liked it. I definitely think having the topics made stuff flow. Liked it a lot. Bow, bow.
Hey, head producer, you know what I'm saying? Creative director, visionary, you know what I'm saying? If you like the structure of the episode, please leave it in the comments below. And then watch next week. We'll see y'all next week.